She enters the throng of the party long since started, startled and silent and self-conscious, thinking, I wish I hadn't worn red lipstick, 'cause what if I smudge it? She's misjudged it. Her timid temperament. Thought she could handle acting bold. How innocent, said the voice in her head that knew better. She'd always been shy, so shy she came off arrogant, but she just could not figure why people found it so easy to laugh and make friends, dance like they didn't give a shit. She'd always felt embarrassed when thrown into the thick of it, unless she took the pill. God take the right one, though. The wrong one sat inside her bones and shook her into feeling ill, and that was the wrong pill. I should find the right pill, she thought. She looked around and felt unnoted. She swigged the beer that made her bloated. She smoothed her jet-black tailored fringe and watched the vibrant party binge on laughter and music and the slow claps of probably undeserved high fives. I should find the right pill, she thought, but not the wrong one. Just the one that makes her talk enough. The wrong one might make her talk too much, like that man there. Sunken submarine-like stare, anchored to the chair that everyone avoided, because he was talking about God to anyone that gave him eye contact. He had contracted the strange guy virus and wrestled with the looks that judged him thusly. He just could not stop talking, and that was the wrong pill. I should find the right pill, she thought. She plucked at the hem of her dress, the cotton straying, and plucking up the courage to feel the music, started swaying. Her feet felt like moving mountains, but on the outside it was subtle, like one of life's gigantic truths told only in a whisper. A girl in the corner blushed as a boy moved in to kiss her. He had taken the bravery pill. And maybe it had worked for him. Maybe in the strange rising light of morning, when the night drains away like dirty water down a sink, he'd unfold the girl from enveloped arms and sit up for a drink, heavy-limbed and hands still shaking, watch the girl as she was waking and congratulate himself, 'cause he'd taken the right pill. I should find the right pill, she thought. The friend that she had come with, Jim, had taken the pill that made him dance like a cartoon. Imagine arms inked on in squiggles instead of linked up bones. Imagine saying, I really loved this song with every muscle that he owned. It was that kind of dance, whilst downing whiskey and taking chances with girls that clearly weren't into him. When he wasn't dancing, he'd loiter near conversations, bending his knees and biting his nails, throwing out observations that lacked any interesting details. He approaches Our Lady. He presses a pill into her palm. He bangs his shin on a table leg but avoids any major harm and hobbles off into the crowd. She grips the pill and asks aloud, Is this the right one? Just then, a Doherty lookalike with a curly fringe strutted over, a hand in his pocket casually gripped a Dover thrift edition of Metamorphosis, his expression screaming, I'm in self-obsessive bliss. He asked her for her name and didn't listen to the answer. Then he took out his phone and read her a poem he'd just written on the bus and fussed about with a rollie as he asked her for her input. Then he asked her who she was and what she was about, and as he blinked in blankness, she knew the cat was out the bag. He'd taken the dickhead pill, the one that is laced with the obsession to make an impression but leaves strangers feeling tired and older. So as he glanced over his shoulder, she scurried off and stood by a lamp, throwing off warm, sweet light that cast a shadow of herself on the wall bigger and braver. She looked at the pill in her palm that might save her, and in a silhouetted, animated gesture, swallowed it. Though she knew that it would test her, she threw herself into a night she had hated and waited for confidence to greet her. She looked out into the crowd, at people clutching glasses half full like Lucky Charms. The party, swollen with emphatic grins, had welcomed her into its arms. The wallflower uprooted herself. She left her beer on the windowsill and was inclined to change her mind. The girl had took her chances pill.
Keep it Mellow 9.